Hello everyone, my name is Zenitsu and I'm back with another Digimon video. This time it's going to be unboxing of the brand new little tiny small set, which is the special limited set. So the special limited set, if you're unfamiliar with it, is basically where Bandai decided to stick some of the missing LM cards and included some reprints and some extra promos. So the set's obviously really small. There's not a whole lot of cards inside of the set in terms of uniqueness. So most of the chase is obviously going to be in the alt arts, which is going to be pretty decent because we do have the ever so infamous Shine Greymon Rune Mode alt art that's in these, as well as a Death X alt art, and both of them are nice reprints to have, so new players actually can get a hold of those cards without needing to buy their original sets and having to actually work harder for them or buying the expensive singles. So I think because of this, the singles prices should go down on some of these cards, but I think that overall, this is a pretty decent product considering it's, for the most part, pretty seeded in our favor because, well, there's not really a whole lot of randomness to it. I think, like, Bandai obviously advertised that it's going to be, for the most part, seeded to give us the ability to pull basically 2 of everything that's going to be new, and then it's just a couple of extra slots left over that's going to be the, well, reprints. So we also do get a box topper. The box topper is of reprints of the 3 Musketeers. So these are the EX7 3 Musketeers. So it's just a nice way to be able to potentially get these cards if you want to build that deck, considering enough of these will help you be able to build that, and you just need to buy the Secret Rare Beelstar X Antibody. So with all that said and done, let's just kind of dive right in and see how these packs exactly are seeded. So that's pretty much it for box 1. Let's go ahead and organize these so we could actually kind of see the overall collation in terms of what we actually did end up getting. The alt arts weren't too bad. Sister Mont Blanc is a pretty good generic card because of her on-play draw 2, discard 2, and then Death Xmon is just another easy level 7 that you could just hard play for super cheap. He's good in specific metas and formats, which allows him to actually still have some decent playability. So let's go ahead and see exactly how much of each of these cards that I got. I'm not like super thrilled with these promos being reprinted. It is okay It feels always lazy when they just do the colored bordered. I'm not usually a huge fan of them, but it's not like those were like super hard cards to get. Obviously, the majority of the value is gonna obviously be in the scrambles and the memory boosts, and then the new aces, of course, because that's the big important part is what kind of decks can these cards be included in to further enhance what they're currently capable of. And I think like these cards do a lot to be able to help with certain decks be even more playable, which is generally a good thing. I do think scrambles they do have the potential to be a little on the pushed side when it comes to how good they can be, but we'll see the overall impact more so when we start playing with them. Japan obviously has already started playing with them, but it's not like the scrambles are mandatory 4-ofs for any of like the given decks that they're played in. Oops, this is the wrong memory boost. There we go. So more promos. I do like a lot of these LM aces. I do think that they're pretty good in their own perspective decks, and they do help those decks that they're in be able to flourish a little bit more. So it's nice that we're finally getting them. Japan's obviously already been playing with these cards. Unfortunately, based on Japanese data, the majority of these cards really haven't been doing anything in terms of the aces. So Sakuyamon already has better cards that they're going to want to play by the time we get Special Booster 2.5. And obviously the bonds, they're just pretty decent. A lot of people are playing like Blue Bond and just Mirage because it's an actual level 7 ace that can, stop an attack and not cost you the whole game. Not saying that Paladin mode isn't good. Paladin mode is very good. It's just that they do have different case uses and matchups in terms of which one is actually going to be better. So as you can see, I did pull basically exactly 2 of each of the new cards. So 2 of each of the new memory boosts. I'm going to call these like the gem boosts, basically, just because Jade, Garnet, Sepia, these are all gems. So that's just the labeling and naming convention that I'm going to go with. Amber's technically kind of a gem. So I did get 2 of each of those. I did get 2 of each of the scrambles. So it's cool that you don't need to like invest super heavily in this product either. If you just want a playset, you just buy 2 boxes. And considering the scrambles right now are like $2-3 a piece, and the fact that you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, well, minus the mix up on the boosts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you just do the math, 12 times, let's just say 2, that's already $25. And if this box is supposedly like $45-50, that's half the value in just the scrambles alone. So I think that just already makes it a pretty worthwhile product, especially since the boosts are also still in here. Again, the aces and the potential high roll on some of the alt arts and the box topper. So you could do some pretty decent numbers when it comes to making the set more or like worth value. As far as like the promos, I think I got 2 of each of these promos as well. So just sorting and organizing just to double check. And yes, I did get 2 of all of the promos as well. So if you were missing out and you didn't play in your store events to get these, this is just another easy way to be able to get them. Again, I don't feel like these were needed. I think there were better cards that they could have reprinted in terms of promos, but something's better than nothing sometimes, I guess. So that's just box 1. I'm going to fly a little bit faster through the rest of them because literally outside of the alt arts, nothing in this box, like in any of these other boxes, is going to be changing in terms of the cards that I'm going to be pulling on. So I'm not even going to waste my time sorting and organizing them, at least not on camera. So that way we could just get through these as fast as possible. So overall, not necessarily too bad in terms of pulls. Obviously, pulling 2 Shine Ruin modes out of 4 boxes is actually pretty decent, considering this is going to be the most sought after card in the entire set. In terms of some of the alt arts, I'm not necessarily super thrilled that the Three Musketeers cards are like, they're okay. It's just the deck isn't that great, so it kind of just makes them feel a little bit more lackluster. And then some of these reprints, like we've seen that Sistermon and Death X already had a reprint in the event pack 7s, so these didn't necessarily feel as special either. And then there's only 50.5 million different printings on Imperial Dramon Dragon mode, so again, while it's nice to have the alt, it is just a rare. Same thing with like Grand Kowagamon Ace. It's a good card, don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily the most special card in the world. At least Quantumon's just another secret that's actually pretty generically good and usable. So overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the pulls, considering these are just the chases. These aren't necessarily what I'm going to be evaluating the set on, because the majority of the set is going to be, well, this is just what you're going to be getting 100% of the time, and these are just the extra fluff. So I think, like, as I kind of already said again, these promos are just whatever. It is nice that we do have more accessibility towards them, especially when Bandai knows that there's a promo problem. It's just, again, I would have chose better promos or a better promo pack to have reprinted. That would have incentivized players to buy these even more. But granted, I think the thought process was the LM cards were going to be the big pull, and these are the reasons why players are going to want these, is because the memory boosts are just more memory boosts, and the fact that these support 2-color decks, where the idea is that their Digimon aren't a true 2 colors. So like, it's a deck that uses both black and yellow, but the Digimon's individual colors are black and not necessarily both black and yellow. So it makes running cards like memory boost, like the old colored base memory boost, and it also makes running the training cards significantly harder for those decks to be able to perform. So I really do like the fact that these are trying to take that into consideration and fix that minor design flaw. And the scramble cards are obviously really good. Again, I don't necessarily see any deck needing 4 of these cards, but they're just absolutely really fantastic staples, because the idea behind them, again, concept versus reality are going to be 2 different things, but the base core concept of them is these are supposed to be used as a catch-up mechanic, where you go up into your big Digimon, you do your big Digimon thing, the opponent goes up into their big Digimon, kills yours, and now you're left with nothing. So if you scrambled along the way up to your big Digimon, then you could reset yourself and have the ability to still be able to play the game, whether that's grabbing back a piece that you need from what was just lost, or just getting a Digimon out on the field, and again, depending on the deck, mileage will vary. But I do like all of these cards for the most part. Cyberdramon Ace is definitely a long time coming, because Black didn't really have a good level 5 Ace Digimon. I don't think they had any level 5 Ace Digimon until literally this card, so it's nice that Black actually has that ability to play these. And then again, the Aces are just helping their respective decks, which is always really nice to see these types of strategies be able to bloom and flourish. But like I kind of said, the alts are going to be the icing on the cake. The real value is just going to be in the Memory Boost Aces and Scrambles, which is the LM cards. And it's nice that Bandai collated it, so that way we're guaranteed to get these. So that way we don't necessarily feel like we need to buy a whole bunch of this product unless we do want the chases. The only reason why I personally bought 4 boxes was, 1, my LGS sold them for like $45 a box, which is pretty decent. And then 2, obviously I wanted to try to chase for Shrine Greymon Ruin modes. A third and a fourth one would have been better in my perspective, or like at least a second Death X. But it's nice that I got 2, because I like having extra playables for various other decks, because I do tend to build a lot of decks. So that's all I really have to say on this. I think this is a pretty decent product. I wish Bandai would kind of do this more often. Like, this is what the reprints like type product should have been, is just something helpful to get cards into players' hands, so that way we don't have to like stress or worry about spending a lot of money to be able to get these cards, because Bandai's usually pretty bad with their promos. And they do have the ability to reprint cards in various different capacities, so it's nice to see that this is another capacity that they're testing the waters with to see if they're going to be doing reprints like this going forward. So I don't know how much of this type of a product is going to be out in the secondary market or just in LGSs, because I have no idea what the what stores have ordered and what the allocations are like. But if these products are able to stick around, then it should be pretty easy to be able to get your hands on this type of a product, so that way you could use some of these important staple cards for your various decks. I do think that sometimes these types of cards are a little bit on the problematic side, but that's a story for a different video. And with that, feel free to tell me your thoughts about the product. Feel free to tell me your overall pulls in terms of the alt arts, and if you're overall satisfied with the product or not, down in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And if you like this type of content and want to see more of that, make sure to ring that notification bell so you can stay up to date when I post next. And with that, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day, and I hope to see you in the next video.